So you're thinking of quitting your job, you want to know what the signs are. In this video, I'm going to share the 6 signs that finally made me write up my resignation letter and resign despite being scared. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Doreen and I am a multi-passionate creator. On this channel, I plan to explore the tools and strategies on how to live and create with intention. So this month, I quit my job as an emergency nurse in a local hospital in Toronto. And if you're here, you're probably also thinking of quitting your job. For context, I planned on quitting my job about a year ago. I was working during the pandemic and I knew that I didn't want to stay in the job that I was in, which is emergency nursing, and I created a whole plan as to how to quit my job, and that finally landed me here. But in the past few months, I was experiencing a lot of signs that I knew to my core that I had to leave. I'm going to share exactly what those signs are. The first negative sign is dreading every single minute that I was in work. I remember when I was a new grad or as a new emergency nurse, I felt excited going to work. I felt excited to learn, to figure out things, and I felt I had so much things to learn. But the past couple of months, every time I went to work, I was dreading it. I didn't want to go to work. I felt to my body that I didn't want to be there. So while I'm at work, I'm actually kind of counting every single minute, every single hour that I'm there. And that was a big red flag that I had to leave. So the second negative sign is if you're crying more than usual. As unfortunate as it sounds, crying in the nursing industry is quite common. So even though I feel like I consider myself as a mentally strong person, where I actually just maybe cried about once as a new grad and maybe another time 1 year into emergency nursing, and I noticed that the past couple of months I'm crying more often. So that means that in the middle of the shift I would actually go to the bathroom and start crying. And if I had a terrible shift, and I would come into my car and I would just burst out crying. And to me that just felt it was my body telling me that I can no longer be there. So if you're crying more than usual in your current job, then I would take that as a sign as to, well, why are you crying? What is it about that workplace that is making you that miserable? I've had multiple retail jobs before, so I know they're quite soul-sucking, but it's different when you're actually, emotionally drained in your job because, there's nothing for you to give, and now your body's responding to that with tears. So the third sign of when to quit your job is when it's affecting your relationship with other people. So I've noticed that the past couple of months I would fight with my partner out of nowhere. So even though they weren't doing anything wrong, I would just notice I'm very short-tempered and impatient. I've worked really hard to develop my relationship with my partner. We've been together for 9 years now, so I know when something is up. So I realized that me being fed up with work was affecting the way I show up with my partner. So I would have fights here and there, even though there was nothing wrong with the relationship itself, or I didn't have a problem with him, but the way I was showing up is like, I guess I was burnt out, I didn't have energy. And I think that's important to recognize, whether it's with your loved one or your friends or your family, when you no longer have anything to give them because you've given everything to your job, then it's time to do a self-check-in as to whether you need to stay in this job. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, if you can't take care of the people around you, and it's affecting all the relationships around you, then it means that your job is taking a lot of energy from you, and that really isn't a way to show up in your life. Because our job isn't supposed to be everything. Now that we've gathered the biggest 3 signs that I've experienced, let's move on to the positive signs that it's time to quit your job. The 4th sign that I would say is you have a backup plan. So if you do not have a backup plan, please do not quit your job. As I've mentioned before, I had a whole year of exit strategy for the job that I'm currently in. So if you don't have a backup plan, start coming up with a plan now. So personally, I started taking online courses on how to make money online. So I did coaching programs, I took a writing course, I took I took a business course, I took a social media course, and all of this helped me develop the skills that I needed. Now my side income comes from doing a freelance writing. So I'm taking on clients as a freelance writer, and also I do have a casual position at our CT department in the current hospital I work in. And lastly, I am also planning to do travel nursing in the US. So those are kind of my backup plan, and if all things comes to worse, I don't know, I'll be a barista at Starbucks, I'll work at Indigo or Chapters, like a bookstore. I'm really into books right now, so I wouldn't mind working at a bookstore. So that's kind of my backup plan. I wanted to do travel nursing because I really do like the nursing profession. I think me leaving the current job that I'm in is just because of the current environment. We were short-staffed. I worked a lot under pressure. The population that I was working with wasn't very good. I was verbally, mentally, physically abused, all of these sorts of things. And I know that if I do travel nursing, then I'm hoping to have a different perspective on it and also get paid well, because travel nurses get paid well, at least from the research that I've done. So the 5th sign that you're ready to quit your job is if you're financially stable. So this goes back to my previous point, where if you don't have a backup plan, if you're not financially stable, don't quit your job. So I live with my partner, and deleting our numbers, we actually realized that we are able to live off of his income for now, for a couple of months, until my freelance writing business takes off, or until I do my travel nursing job. And doing this has allowed me to be a little bit more calm, to ease the fear of like, oh my god, am I gonna starve? Am I gonna be homeless? All of these fears that I have in my head, which I'm sure is also one of your fears. How I calm it down, like if you have it on paper, then it's easier to actually see it and figure out if both of us lose our job, what's going to happen. Then I will take a job somewhere else, I will do this, I will do that. So I think that really helps when it comes to lowering or dialing down the fear in your head when it comes to quitting your job as well. So the 6th sign that you're kind of ready to quit your job is that you have trust in yourself. You have to have your own back. No matter what you do in life, whether it's quitting your job, staying in your job, starting a business, doing freelancing, all of this big actions, it requires for you to actually have your own back in life, because nobody else is going to trust you more than you trust yourself. And believing in yourself, as hard as it sounds, is going to be your greatest superpower when you take on this journey. I've developed this trust in yourself when I started writing on Medium. In less than a year, I went from 0 followers to now making somewhat like more than 1K per month with writing. I had 0 writing experience. I didn't know how to work with clients, and just taking it step by step has allowed me to gain the confidence and the skill that whatever else I do in life, I am able to trust myself and go for things that light me up. Just as a recap, these are the 6 signs that you're kind of ready to quit your job. Number 1, you're dreading every moment you're in your workplace. Number 2, you're crying often, or you're more emotional than usual. Number 3, it's affecting your relationship with other people. So whether that's your family, partner, or loved one. Number 4, you have a backup plan. Number 5, you're financially stable. And number 6, you have trust in yourself that you are able to take this leap wherever it takes you. And if you are planning to quit your job and you're unsure how to do it, you can find me on Twitter or on Instagram at @JereenNicole. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.